Before Punch, the cases of Otome and Ryu had already served as crucial experiences in handling human-reared baby monkeys being reintroduced to their group. It was noted that the cases of Otome and Ryu demonstrate that the artificial rearing process is not the end of the story. The real challenge lies in how these individuals can return to live in and be accepted by their group's society. Ryu had a personality that was vastly different from Otome's. This is one of the most important facts. When Otome successfully readapted to the group, it was initially suspected that male-female differences might be an important factor. However, the experience with Ryu changed that perspective. According to observations, Ryu was an individual who was extremely fearful or easily frightened. When touched or attacked by other monkeys, Ryu would scream loudly. Unfortunately, this reaction seemed to attract attention and made him a target for other individuals once again. From this, it can be concluded that an individual's character or temperament may be far more decisive than gender alone. Goron initially protected Ryu. During the period when Ryu attempted to live with the group, Goron was still alive and initially offered him protection. Goron was known as a dominant male who exhibited traditional alpha monkey behavior, intervening during conflicts, stopping fights, and protecting weaker individuals. Otome and Ryu were among those who had received such protection. However, that protection did not last indefinitely. Over time, Goron intervened less and less frequently. It is suspected that Goron's advanced age may have been one of the reasons. Even when Ryu was directly behind Goron and under attack, Goron would sometimes remain focused on eating.
Ryu became a target for Akira. One of the individuals noted to be the harshest toward Ryu was Akira. During that time, Akira was entering a growth phase, and his body was developing to be more masculine. Akira did not hesitate to treat Ryu roughly and even dragged him on occasion. This situation made the staff feel deeply concerned about the treatment Ryu received. Interestingly, Akira's mother, Chobi, was also mentioned as an individual who showed little tolerance toward Ryu. An attempt was made to introduce Ryu using an Anpanman plushie. This is one of the most unique parts of Ryu's story. When Ryu was an artificially reared infant, the staff attempted to use an Anpanman plushie as a companion. The choice of the plushie was not primarily because of the Anpanman character itself, but because its shape was considered suitable for a young monkey to cling to or hug. This idea was based on the experience with Otome, who had previously lived with the group while carrying a Rilakuma plushie. That plushie indirectly acted as a barrier because several other monkeys found it strange and were reluctant to approach. However, that strategy failed completely with Ryu. The reason was quite interesting. Otome herself was not afraid of plushies. Otome subsequently destroyed the Anpanman plushie. Consequently, using the plushie no longer provided the expected protection for Ryu, and the staff ultimately decided that Ryu had to try living with the group without the aid of a plushie. Ryu's story became an important lesson for Punch. In articles discussing Punch, a direct comparison between Punch and Ryu shows that Punch appears to possess several traits more similar to Otome, particularly the ability to remain within the group environment and display a relatively positive character. Conversely, Ryu's experience illustrates just how difficult the reintegration process can be if an individual panics easily and struggles to cope with social pressure.
Actually, Ryu managed to hold his ground in the group, even though he was still bullied occasionally. However, a few years later, tragedy struck. During an internal fight within the group, Ryu was caught in the crossfire and severely injured. The zookeepers did everything they could to treat him, but Ryu ultimately passed away from his injuries. Ryu was said to be only 6 years old at the time. A brief chronology of Ryu's story. Ryu was born and subsequently became an artificially reared infant. During the reintroduction process, staff attempted to use an Anpanman plushie as a companion. The plushie strategy failed after Otome destroyed it. Ryu was then introduced to the group without plushie protection. Ryu exhibited an extremely fearful nature and often screamed when attacked. Goron initially protected Ryu. Over time, Goron's protection diminished, likely related to his advanced age. Ryu faced social pressure, particularly from Akira, and also received little tolerance from Chobi. Ryu's experience later became an important lesson in understanding the reintegration of artificially reared baby monkeys like Punch. Conclusion. Ryu's story is vital in the history of Monkey Mountain because it demonstrates that returning an artificially reared infant monkey to its group is not simply a matter of opening the door and letting it in. The success of reintegration is heavily influenced by individual personality, the ability to read social situations, responses to conflict, the presence of social protectors, and the power dynamics within the group. If Goron was a legend of the past and Otome was an example of successful adaptation, then Ryu is the story of how grueling the struggle can be for an infant monkey who must learn to navigate a group society that is not always welcoming.
Next, I'll introduce 6 baby monkeys that were hand-raised by zookeepers at Ichikawa Zoo when they were infants. 1. Gori, the first hand-raised macaque. 2. Otome, born in 2008, later successfully raised her own offspring. 3. Ryu, born in 2009. 4. Nanako. 5. One additional hand-raised macaque whose name is not publicly known. 6. Punch, born in 2025 and hand-raised by zookeepers after being abandoned by his mother. Among these babies, 3rd, Ryu, died due to troop conflicts, and Gori, the first one on this list who was hand-raised by humans, died from heart issues. Nanako, the 4th one, is still alive but lives outside the troop because she has difficulty integrating with the group. The 5th one remains unknown to the public and no name has been revealed. Otome, the 3rd one, is successfully integrated with troop and present living still there. The last one, 6th, Punch, is still in the developmental stage of learning to mingle and integrate with the troop.